What's up everyone, my name is Mark Hawk and today we're taking an early look at the FATBAT from QubaPRO. Now this is a battery backup tailored for your GoPro, but it's also got a lot of other uses, not exclusively for the GoPro. So this is an early release version and it was sent to us for free, so take that as you will, but we're going to go over here in great detail what I think of it, some of the things I think you should look out for and be concerned about, and then you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to pre-order it. So let's get to it. So the FATBAT is a battery backup sort of universal charger that you can use on your GoPro and a bunch of your other electronics. Now the way it charges your electronics is through 10,000 milliamps of voltage, and it gets that through 3 flat top 18650 batteries, which is the equivalent of 8 GoPro batteries. Now each of these batteries can be removed and you can adjust them based on what you need. You can work with 1 battery, 2 batteries, 3 batteries, and sort of use it to adjust the weight, which is good because when you have 3 full batteries in this, it can be quite heavy, and over time this can start to weigh on your hands on longer hikes and stuff like that. And it also gives you the option where if you don't want to have that weight but you still want a functional battery backup unit that is maybe tailored to whatever event you're on, you can actually remove batteries and keep going. Since QubaPRO is a European-based workshop, they actually are bound by the lithium on aircraft law, which is why you won't be able to get a FATBAT with a full set of batteries inside of it. Now these batteries are easy to come with, and they're easily available in places like Amazon and stuff like that for roughly, $15 to $25, but it is additional cost, and since the FATBAT does retail at $99, it does start to add up a little quick, but we're going to go over why I think some of those costs are kind of still within reason, especially when you compare it to other battery backup units for the GoPro on the market. Thanks to a small threaded female tripod mount on the bottom of the FATBAT, I kind of find this to be the ultimate time-lapse tool for the GoPro. Honestly, I've tried a bunch of other time-lapse tools, and most of them require wires or some type of slightly complicated setup. The nice thing about this is I can plug it into a tripod, turn the camera on, and I can go for hours. We did our test and we went for over 11 hours, ranging from like the middle of the night all the way down to the beginning of the day. We also did a 1080p at 30 frames a second, and we went close to, again, 11 hours, and I think we could have gotten to that that listed 12-hour battery life on QubaPRO's website if we had 3 matching batteries and had a full charge. Now we had a full charge, we just didn't have 3 matching batteries because I was kind of limited for time, so I got the 2 flat tops that I could, and yeah, time-wise and setting-wise, their estimates are kind of spot on. Our 4K Wi-Fi test did last around like 4.5 hours before our card filled up, and then our FATBAT still had enough power to keep charging the GoPro until it charged it fully up again, and we still had some power left over. So their estimated times are pretty much spot on. You can see those on the screen here. Again, in our time-lapse test, we were able to do full resolutions in 10-second intervals over 11 hours, and that was great. We just set it up on the tripod, and we could leave it overnight. And that kind of brings me up to my next point. The FATBAT is extremely strong, so you can set it out in the snow, in the ice, and QubaPRO has actually put up a bunch of videos showcasing just how strong the FATBAT is, and even in our test, like, it was splash proof and stuff like that, but these guys, they put it through a block of ice, they threw it in a jacuzzi, so you can fully submerge it. I do think it has certain depth restrictions, but, if you're kind of going through, if you're backpacking and you're using it and it gets wet, you should be fine. If you had to cross through a river or something like that, this thing's going to hold up. And then on top of being a really good GoPro adapter, and it also is a really good universal charger, so you can use it to charge things like your batteries on the go, your electronic devices, other cameras. You can charge your GoPro and more GoPro batteries on the side. It has a lot of versatility and stuff like that. But one of the areas where you can just sort of plug in a lithium flashlight on top of it, and that's one of the sort of add-on adapters you can use on the FATBAT itself. Now, this is, again, also fully submergible. It's not only splash proof, you can just dunk it in the water and it still works. Again, QubaPRO has provided a bunch of videos showcasing this, and it's really cool. It's really strong, and I keep coming back to this idea where I can set up my camera on a time-lapse in the middle of nowhere, just so I know it's safe and stuff like that. It's fully exposed to the elements. I can do my all-night sort of starry night time-lapse or my sort of establishing time-lapse over a day and collect the camera at the end of the day and know that the device itself is going to be working and that my footage is going to work because the camera's been powered all day. And even in our long tests in the sun, neither the GoPro or the QubaPRO's FATBAT failed. And since I'm somebody that travels with a variety of electronics, it's really nice to just sort of have this be in my backpack, and it can actually take the place of not only my battery backup unit, but it can also help me charge other batteries and stuff like that. It can be a flashlight, it can be a cell phone charger. It can replace a lot of elements in my book bag and still have power left over to keep charging them later on in the day, which is really nice. It's not limited to GoPros. Obviously, we can put the Xiaomi Yi on it, we can put a Sony action camera on it. It doesn't really matter as long as it's got a power source it can charge up. The only area where I had trouble charging something was my Sony PS Vita, but I think that's maybe because I completely ran it dry playing Persona 4. So the only real downside is when you're kind of using it as a handheld mount. The item itself can be fairly heavy even with just the one battery, let alone 3 batteries after a 6-hour hike. It just starts to weigh down in on your hand and stuff like that. I talked to QUBA.PRO about this. They actually said they're looking into putting in a wrist strap. That way, in case your hand gets weak and you drop it, it doesn't slam into the ground. Though with the added cap and stuff on top and just the nice sort of aluminum base, I don't think you're actually going to damage it. And I was looking for something with a little more color, because when you originally get this item, it comes in like this sort of beautiful packaging, which is a little messy, but whatever. It can kind of look a little intimidating, because it's this sort of like pipe-type object with a wire sticking out of it. And they're actually putting out a sort of oil slick version, and I'm probably going to slap a few stickers on mine, just so the next time I go through Disney security, they don't look at me so weird. But yeah, I think it's really well built. I really love the time-lapse capabilities of this. That's mainly what I'm most excited about. The fact that it's going to stand up to most of my conditions. It's got enough power in there to, again, like fill my GoPro, fill all my other electronic devices, that I don't really need to carry my dedicated battery backup on the side. Now, that battery backup only cost me $35, and this one's $100, plus you tack on the $20 price tag. But consider some of the other things like PolarPro's GoPole, that's $100. Some of the other battery-operated extensions for GoPro can start off just for a battery backpack or $60. This is going to be the equivalent of almost 5 battery backups. That's $250 if you were to buy directly from GoPro, if they're still charging it for $50. So it definitely starts to become a savings, and you don't actually have to hold it the whole day if you're worried about weight. Like I said, I keep mine in my book bag, and then in between uses, I'll just sort of plug it in, get back on the mountain, pull it out when I need it, and we're good to go. And if I wanted to set it up somewhere with Wi-Fi turned on or 4K turned on for the entire day, maybe do a live streaming thing where I can't get external power into the camera all day, this is another good option. Again, having that tripod mount, I can put it up there, stick it up there, and it'll be fine for the entire duration. And charging, it's not a problem. It is a little long. On one of the more weaker outlets I had in my house, maybe putting out about 1 watt, it took about 4.5 hours. I figure if I put it in a 2 watt charge, it's going to take somewhere around 2.5, and that's with all 3 batteries. With one battery, got it charged up within about an hour on a 2 watt thing. And yeah, charging it's not that bad. You can just plug in a micro USB on the top. You can use an AC adapter, though I haven't tried it yet. And while you're charging this, if you want to charge other devices, you're more than welcome to do that. It has no restrictions in that regard. And I'm not one to usually do final verdicts, but I think it's probably good to look over some of the facts. This is a fairly expensive device, but when you compare it to other GoPro devices and the type of space it can save in your book bag, it can be a multi-purpose tool. You can use a flashlight, it's waterproof, it's a really amazing time-lapse tool. Honestly, that's my favorite part, is the idea of putting this on a sort of spinner or a mount and just having it go the entire night when I'm in the mountains or a camping trip. It's amazing. But yeah, it's a little expensive. You have to get your own batteries, but for the most part, it works right out of the box, and I think that what FATBAT's doing and what they're demonstrating with it is really cool. Yeah, I think you should check out their Kickstarter page if it's still going. I'm a little late to get the message out. They probably only have about 3 days left if you want to pre-order one. But you can hop on over to their site. You can find that information in the more information section below this video. There'll be a bunch of links, including some of the specs that we went over and some of the video specs that were displayed on screen. Yeah. But I think I'm going to keep using my FATBAT, and I think I'm going to pre-order that Flashlight edition because I think it's pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys picked up a FATBAT and kind of want to back me up on your sort of settings and your tests and stuff like that, go for it. I'll be really interested to hear what you guys think and your experiences dealing with QUBA.PRO. And yeah, I'm Mark Hawk, and this has been our first quick look of the pre-release version of the FATBAT from QUBA.PRO. So I'll see you guys out there, and link me to your time lapses. I'm really interested in seeing those. So have a good one, guys.